It gives me a lot of joy to have the opportunity to introduce you to a product that I know is going to help the life of your hair. Hey guys, my name is David DeMuzio. You might know me from my hit songs in the Philippines, where I've had over 400 million views on my music videos on YouTube and on Facebook. Or maybe you've seen some of my videos from my YouTube channel, Hair Loss Hope. I started that channel because when I was 20 years old, I started going bald. And by the time I was 23, I very clearly had that horseshoe male pattern baldness look. And my dad was bald by the time he was about 35, and I was definitely headed that way, probably even faster than him. So even though music is totally my passion, I love helping people, and it gives me a lot of joy to be able to do something that most artists and singers can't do, which is educate someone who's going bald about hair loss and about how they can actually extend the life of their hair and hopefully even keep their hair for their whole life or for most of it, and look great when they're young and look young when they are young. It was very frustrating for me being in my early 20s and having girls and managers and people think that I was in my mid-30s, and it just felt really awkward. So I like to be able to look the age that I actually was. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite things that I do for my hair. And when I say favorite, the reason is that I know that it's really improving the thickness and the fullness of my hair. It's replenishable because it's a device that doesn't break down. I've been using the same one now for many years. It's not like a pill or a potion that I have to continually put on myself and buy. It's really easy to use, and 25 minutes every other day, I sit and watch Game of Thrones or whatever I want to do, and I improve the life of my hair. So that device is this right here. It's made by iRestore. It's a low-level laser therapy device. What does that mean? Well, it stimulates the cells in your hair follicles. It stimulates their metabolism. And so it actually increases their strength and their thickness and fullness, and it can often bring back hair that has greatly miniaturized to the point that you can barely see it, but it's actually still a living hair follicle. And this can basically water that cell in a sense, just like you water grass, and bring it back. And guys write me weekly with before and after pictures showing themselves after using this and how much their hair has improved, and I love seeing those pictures. Now you might say, as a lot of people do, oh, but David, you had hair transplants. And that's completely true. I've had 3 hair transplants. So why am I talking about this laser device if I've had 3 hair transplants? Because doesn't hair that's transplanted just stay there and then you get a transplant and that's it and you're done for the rest of your life? No, that's not the case at all. One of the reasons that I've had such a successful hair transformation is the fact that Steve Cook was a consultant that really helped guide me through that whole hair transplant process. And one of the myths that he busted in the very beginning was he said, David, we can transplant hair, but that hair is only DHT resistant. It's not DHT proof. So the only way that we're going to give you a really successful hair transplant and help you keep your hair for the long term, and here I am, 10 years later, looking great. The only way that we're going to do that is by strengthening both the transplanted hair and the non-transplanted hair. So transplanted hair is DHT resistant, but it's not DHT proof. So even transplanted hair can still thin and can still miniaturize and still fall out over time. So you'll notice that there are a lot of guys that are much older who are really going bald a lot, and even the hair on the side of their head, even this hair, is much thinner and much more wispy than it used to be. And the reason is that even that hair that's in the safe zone where they take hair that's transplanted from, even that hair is still only a little bit more DHT resistant, and it still has the potential to miniaturize. Another big reason for someone who's had a hair transplant to use a laser therapy device, and why it's so important, is that you only have so much hair that can be transplanted. You only have so many little strips that it can take out of the back of your head and plant on the top. This is a lot of area to cover there. So, there's only so much hair that can really be taken out for transplanted. So what's really important is to be able to keep as much of the non-transplanted hair strong that's around that transplanted hair, and to also be able to keep the hair strong and living that's like this, so you don't have that horseshoe just continually go down further. So it's really important to do as much preventative maintenance as possible, even after having had hair transplants. And why go through the whole hair transplant process? It's a pain, and it's super expensive. It's a long process. You have to wait, about a year for each one of those transplants to grow in. So why go through all of that and spend all that money when you can just use a laser therapy device and just do other preventative treatments to help you keep your hair without having to just go straight into the hair transplant like I did, because I'd already lost so much that was the only way that I was going to get my hairline back. So whenever I meet friends and they ask me about hair and they're losing their hair, the first thing I tell them is, I say, go buy a laser therapy device. Go buy this iRestore laser helmet. The one that I was using I used for over 3 years. It's still working great. It still looks great. It's a really good investment versus something that you have to keep on buying all the time. So it's sort of a no-brainer to me as to why anyone who's worried about their hair should buy one. And this is their professional version of their laser helmet. And so the things that this has that the other one doesn't is that it has more coverage on the back and the sides, which was something people were asking for. Just like I mentioned, that horseshoe going down, you really want to keep all of that hair around the top really strong and healthy as well. So this has more coverage, it has more lasers, more LEDs, and I really love the battery pack. The battery pack's life of this is pretty awesome. Clips on, it's actually like a magnet, super cool. I charged this once and I used it for weeks, using it 25 minutes a day, every other day, just like you're supposed to, and I didn't have to recharge it for like 3 weeks, so it's got a ton of life. And you just wear it around the house, doing whatever you want to. Also, if you like iRestore's page on Facebook and Instagram and their website, they do a lot of giveaways every month where they give away devices and their conditioner and shampoo, which I also use and love, their biotin gummies and all of their different products. They do a lot of giveaways. So I suggest that you sign up on iRestore's different sites, and you can also win a lot of free product. In the past, I've used a lot of other laser devices, even before using iRestore's. I had a Capitalist device and also an iGrow. And I'm not a laser scientist, so I can't tell you exactly, oh, this wavelength works because of this reason. I feel like I'd be going a little bit beyond my scope of knowledge to be able to do that. But what I can tell you is that iRestore's laser device is by far the most comfortable and convenient in its use of any laser device that I've ever used. And I know that it works because I've seen countless before and after pictures of guys with tons of improvement. So I really believe in iRestore's device, and I think it's very well made. So if you want to get an iRestore laser device, David200, and I really think that you're going to thank me later. It's one of the best investments that I've made.